I think when the troops are up and about, we certainly did our best, and to half time, boys had a crack and moved the ball the way we wanted to. But yeah, obviously with such a young group, when we lose even one player, then let alone three, obviously things are going to turn nasty, and they certainly did in the second half.
Yeah, was it just a case of running out of numbers and what was out there got tired?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think we had our best rotations last week, surprise, and I thought we finished off the game better, had 138. I'm not sure what they were today. I'm sure there was nowhere near 138. But yeah, I mean, obviously you lose a ruckman, which pushes Josh Fraser to the brink when he's actually got a crook foot himself. So that wasn't handy. Then, yeah, obviously Sam Day up front and a few of the other boys went down. So, to basically have no interchange in the last quarter. So, no, I better not say that. Stan Gorringe was fit and he'd been already subbed off. So, so that certainly made things a bit harder.
Just on prognosis of those injuries?
Sammy will get scanned in due course, but I would think he'd be at least 2 or 3 weeks. Zach was hit in the head and a sore sternum, but I'm sure he'll be fine next week. Josh's foot, we'd assume it'd be okay, but he's had some issues with that all year, I should say. Sammy Isles with a crook foot, but he should be fine as well.
And Bob was
Yeah, he obviously had something bad for breakfast, so that didn't agree with him. Yeah, so he had to get off and relieve himself a few times during the game, which wasn't great because I thought he was doing a really good job on Pav forward, and I think he kicked his goals. I think a couple from midfield, but the goal he did kick, I think certainly Bocky. It was the time Bocky was off, so it was a shame. But yeah, when nature calls, nature calls.
You sounded a bit frustrated with the substitute rule on a day like today.
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that, Emma. Well, yeah. Have been from day one, and I don't think it changes, certainly today. Have a fit bloke sitting there, and you've already lost 3. The way the game's played these days, and I think that's what the competition's starting to see. I didn't know, but everyone talking about, and we all talk. I mean, even I do. I'd love to see Gary Ablett out there. And again, he's had 93% game time. We're trying to reduce that. We got it down to 91, and now I know he flashes up to 94% now. That's great for the public, even great for me. He gives us a better chance of winning, but over the course of a season, that 94% adds up, and at some stage he'll hurt himself. He'll get injured because of the cumulative load, and we're trying to manage that the best we possibly can. Most of our injuries, mind you, are sort of impact injuries, but you can see with other sides now, Watson, I think, has re-torn his hamstring. Well, it's all that sort of excess load that's gone into these boys because you're not allowed to, or you can't rotate as much, so it makes it difficult with 3 on the bench.
Was it on time to make that substitution, 26-minute mark, you take off Corrie to bring on Matera? What was the reasoning behind that at that stage?
Oh, just the conditions of the game and the ground starting to obviously moisten up a bit. Dan had done his bit. I think he'd certainly ran himself, not say into the ground, but was moving around, doing what he had to do. Chopped that in the ruck a bit, and then we obviously were keen to go small and get a bit more pace around the forward line. So that was always something on the cards. Yeah.
And then almost all of a sudden, 2 minutes after that, when Josh starts having pain, I guess you're regretting what you've done. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's footy, unfortunately.
Louis, I believe Charlie Dixon had a big day out today. Is one of those, does he automatically come back after 11 goals? Or?
Yeah, after 11 goals, it's going to be hard to keep the big fella out. But we'll have to assess the damage done on our boys. And the good thing is with some of those boys, Harley Burnell was good as well. So, I dare say, I mean, we're going to have some changes from this week. We probably averaged 4 or 5. But yeah, Charlie's obviously put his hand up, and Harley and a few of the other boys that played well.
You know firsthand how hard it is to win here. Are you proud of the 2 efforts, against 2 finals bound side that you've put up in the space of a few weeks of each other too?
Yeah, of course. As I said to the boys, it's all about recovery now. I mean, I can, put all the numbers up and tell you how good they are, and so I should. But let's just, it's about getting that recovery done because it's brutal this second half of the season, and for the boys to play within a month of a part of coming over here and taking on West Coast, who are now probably a top 5 or 6 side, and then Fremantle in the same boat as well. To do that within a month, no more buys, all that sort sort of stuff. The biggest travel we're going to do, and we've done it twice within a month. I certainly take my hat off to the boys. I take my hat off to the leadership fellas. Gaz and Nathan Bock and Campbell Brown, I thought were probably three of our better players today. For them to drag the boys and the young boys through that, it's certainly testament to their leadership and obviously what they want to achieve. But they're still demanding on our playing group as well. But it's certainly a big tick off, certainly to half time today, that's for sure.
How are they holding up? You mentioned it's tougher now with some. How's your yours?
Yeah, well, it's because of that. We've got to try and mitigate that as best we can. So obviously, as I said, some boys are looking really good. It's like Tom Lynch. I mean, 2 weeks he's kicked 3 goals in a row, and I'm surprised I was never asked how come he's having a rest. He's up and running, and the idea is not to get them when they've fallen over the hill, if you know what I mean. It's to trying to get them before they get to that point. So I reckon we heard, in the case of Brandon Matera and Trent McKenzie. If you watch Trent play against Hawthorn, so I was just very keen not to go down that path. We try, as you do, you try and squeeze these kids because they're up and running, and it's, mind you, the stare I got from Tommy Lynch, hopefully I don't have to do it once more for the end of the season because I don't think he was a happy boy, but as I said, it's the long term rather than the short term. So, but yeah, I'm sure he and Charlie will be putting their hands up for next week.
Guy, do you think that could actually have been Gaz's best game for the club, considering he had like 14 tackles, which I presume is a club record to this stage?
I don't know. His game against Port, and where I think he had 38 or 40 odd possessions and kicked 4 goals. That was pretty special. But yeah, look, he's been fantastic.